Sully Forth Paladins, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates +1. I am Commodore Tiark of the Dreadnought HMS Fearless as we continue our war of vengeance and revenge against the evil Klingon Empire as the Hydran Star Kingdom. And as you can see, we are pushing, well, quite significantly into enemy territory. We have, of course, managed to capture the Klingon homeworld of Kronos, as well as one of its sort of supporting planets, and we're now laying siege to planet at 812. Currently also saving up about 10,000 for a battleship carrier, which can carry 20 fighters in a lot of pain. So haven't quite gotten there, but we're working on it. So let's get right back into the combat and hit a patrol, because shipyard assaults, I don't like doing them with this class of vessel. Don't get me wrong, the Hydran Navy is great and powerful, but it's not great for siege work. I mean, I suppose a Hellbore-armed one would be, but we have too many fusion cannons on board to call ourselves a good siege platform. We could do it, just not well. And we are fighting up against a D6DR and an FRL. For real, man. So it looks like the D6DR. Let's take a look at you. Definitely an older design, not something you would expect in frontline service. And way top view, but no. Keep in the nice third person from the stern, wait for the first point to get past, and overload the heavy weapons. We need all the power, all the heavy weapons that we can possibly bring to bear. Still maintaining a speed of 13 as we charge our heavy weapons. And we can start to see the gigantic freighter off in the corner. Oh, looks like another one showed up. Another freighter. Okay, so this is clearly a Klingon refueling group. And this heavy cruiser is obviously their escort, as they come out to refuel, rearm, mostly gunships, but also larger vessels when it's needed. And this D6DR, being an older design, clearly is here to escort these two vessels. And they come out to meet us because they did not realize that we were a Hydran vessel until it was too late to just flee, trapped within the gravity well of wherever the heck we are. Thank you for reminding me to buff up my forward shield. We will try and make your death extra quick, if at all possible. If we can't, well, you're going to be a little bit out of luck. So let's get ready to deploy the fighters. What I'm waiting on is to see what sort of point defense system he has. He has none. Fighters, deploy. Both fighters now deployed, ready to defend ourselves. He is a drone cruiser, so he'll have basically one big shot. And let our fighters do some nasty, nasty damage. Laser cheese, getting in. Completely shredded. Fighters, return to me. Not that button. This button. Hello. Return. And return. Let's get the ships all patched up so that we can continue our awesome combat and attack. So we are charging systems. Our forward shield did take a little bit of a hit, but it wasn't enough to knock it out. He only had phaser 2s to really try and deal with us. We are going to pass into this guy before we can get away. You are the Sword of Kalis. Really? Really? You are an incredibly light freighter, and you somehow got stuck with the name Sword of Kalis. I don't know what to even think about that. Yes, I do. Obviously, the freighter captain is some important house's son, who is a total screw-up. And they couldn't just, throw him out because he's important, but they didn't want to give him anything that would be, especially detrimental. So they gave him a vessel called the Sword of Kalis, just so that he would stay out of the way. You're in the Sword of Kalis. Kalis, no, seriously. But it's a freighter. That is the only explanation I could possibly come up with. Any other explanation is making me wince. Another FLRG, another one of these rearguard tanker fueler things, and we will charge in at him straightforward. Increase speed. He only has a single phaser 2 and a single phaser 3, so 2 weapons. Yeah, he's got no chance of punishing through our shields. The Attacker, a very aggressive name for a refueling vessel. Hit him with, well, everything we got. It wasn't enough. We only had 2 weapons to fire. Two of which was a fusion cannon. So we'll increase the speed of time so that we can swoop in, and there we go. Refueling group annihilated. That's how we want to do it every time. Indeed. Indeed. So let's see what we got for the prestige on that. 312. Not bad, I guess. Not great, but not terrible. Pop over here. Pop back here. We have located another Klingon station, which we'll probably go for next. Shipyard assault. The thing we didn't want to go on, we kind of have to now go on. It's not that they're hard. In fact, fighting the defenders is no different from fighting any other patrol. It's just that you can take a little bit too much damage in the fight, and then it just becomes tedious. We will prep the Wild Weasel shuttle. We will pop over here, reinforce that forward shield if you don't mind, please. I am seeing 3 vessels. Let's get up to speed, and we will analyze what they are. But today we are escorted by USS Patton, a frigate Patton. Yes, oh no, this is not a frigate. This is a new command cruiser. I misread this for a moment and was thinking, oh, it looks like the how the LCARs would look if we had updated LCARs for the frigates that we have in this mod, but no. That is very clearly Miranda class, but as you can see here, it is the strike cruiser design. So, Patton being a fast cruiser. He's only got 2 photon torpedoes, a single G-mount. We're at the right speed. Yeah, we are. Single G-mount. A decent amount of phasers, though. He could actually be new fast light cruiser is what he is. So let's target our enemies, though. We are looking at a heavy cruiser. Yeah, it's a D7 Bravo, not particularly scary. An E4VK, a frigate, and a D5W. The D5W is actually a pretty good ship. We were in one for a little while, I think. Was it a D5? It was a D5 something. And we were in that cruiser for, well, longer than we probably wanted to be. We did not start the overload in time, so we're just going to have to engage him at basically full tilt. But anyway, as I was saying, the D5s are a great series of ships. Light, flexible, maneuverable. I love them quite a bit. Let's deploy the fighters. He's only got 1 point defense. Oh no, but that E4K is going to come in and it's just going to suck. So we'll keep the fighters inside. You're not going out to play until after we deal with this tiny... And turn. Excellent! 117 damage and we didn't even overload. We did, however, lose most of our rear shield because he has those collar phasers which only fire backwards, and a decent amount of our forward shields. We do have fighters about to come in, though, and totally wreck our face. This is gonna hurt. Fighters always do. You're about to watch this shield completely disappear. Like that! But we did, however, manage to turn on the side that he couldn't get to us. You are actually not armed with any sort of point defense. How about you? Your point defense is still online, and not you, but you are equipped with 2, so it would not be advisable to do that. Let's start dealing damage to this E4K. Or, is it an E4K? What class? You were an E4 something. E4VK for the carrier variant. The courier variant. 2 more missiles incoming. Our phasers take care of that, no problem at all. It does mean that we have lost a bit of our offensive punch for this turn, and we are about to run smack dab into more fighters about to do a run on us, which is going to hurt. We did have to turn to avoid, well, handle the fighters, which did expose... wow. Which did expose us a little bit more than I wanted, but there we go. Took out the fighters, took out the carrier. We are still taking fire from this D5. He is in a fairly nice position to just be a major thorn in our side. He also has a fairly decent point defense system, so I can't just say, screw you, and let's see if we can't complete this turn. I can't just say screw you and launch fighters into him, because he will shoot them down very well. We did lose one of our phaser Gs, and we haven't lost any power. Okay. Still haven't lost any power. Okay. So we're going to line up, get to work patching that phaser G. We do have enough phasers to handle all of that's about to happen. And hit him with everything we got. Only 15 damage got through. Break out to port. That way we still have shields. The Decimator. It's actually a good name for a ship. And he's actually caused an annoying amount of damage to us. He has damaged the somewhat fragile Hellbore mounts. It's nice to see that Patton finally finished killing a D7B that we had basically gutted on the first run through. But hey, it just took him some time. He missed with that photon torpedo. We are going to make a run in. We have pretty much all of our weapons ready to go except for 1 fusion beam. He is, however, outrunning us pretty severely. So let's get the Hellbores in on this. Okay. That wasn't great. I was hoping for a little bit more. But we've got to take what we can get at this point. And we're going to keep curling in. I can't afford to fire fusion beams from this range. It's just too much power to have lost. Tempted to just switch to the phasers and start dealing some damage there. But we're going to close in a little bit closer. And now. 82 damage got through. we're going to somewhat pull off over on port side because we've got another fusion beam ready to plant in and fire. It did manage to punch through anything. We have taken out one of his point defense systems, but only the one. Point defense systems tend to be not one of the first things to go. That is kind of annoying. I don't know why. What makes a point defense system so resilient to damage and a phaser G so vulnerable to it? So continue our steady turns. He is still chugging along at a speed of 8, so we did manage to catch quite the piece of him. And there goes the Paladin starting to lay in with photon torpedoes, missing one, but hitting with the other one, so not horrible. I am hearing a high energy turn executed, but he did not actually use it, so he just charged it and kind of wasted everybody's time. We'll line up on this defense. Oh, that is one heck of a high off-bore shot with disruptors. But we're getting kind of used to that. More Hellbores! Again, long-range shots not really rewarded all that much. We've shocked a whole bunch of systems. Let's tear them open like a can opener. And we didn't. Not like a can opener, anyway. He has lost his point defense system. So this is the point where the fighters go kill. Kill everything. Let's get the fighters out. Now that I don't have to worry about it, the fighters will go annihilate him with pretty much no problem at all. Patton took care of it. So fighters, defend me. So we actually got fairly close to the star docks. That's pretty impressive. What kind of star docks are we looking at? FRDs. It's not showing. Send a probe. Yes, thank you, my science officer. It'll zip there, and the probe will tell us exactly what it is we are dealing with. It's not a it's a Lyran station. Ooh, nice. So this is perfect. Lyran stations are not well defended, as we found very much so in the Marak campaign. You can basically bully a Lyran station because it can't shoot you. Sure, it's got phasers, and he'll have 6 in total, 2 phaser 2s, 4 phaser 3s, but his expanding shear generator is only effective at medium-ish range. Or by medium, I mean point blank on top of him range. We'll set the fighters to do harassment work and shoot at him from afar. Excuse me. That way we don't have to worry about our fighters running into the expanding shear generators. And we will set up at a range of like 10 or so and just start shelling him with Hellbores. Because we can. Continuing at a speed of 14. Are we still only buffing the forward shield? Yes, we are. Let's commence bombardment. Hey, we hit! I think we hit with everything. That's pretty impressive, actually. So we will give the fighters commands to harass the star dock. We want them to just mess around with it, not get too close, not worry anybody unduly. Just fire your Hellbores from medium range, which is what they're exactly designed to do. This particular starfighter is perfectly outfitted to do this sort of long-range work. Stations are firing at the fighters, not managing to land a mark. They do have natural ECM just from being small, maneuverable, nimble targets. And I'm assuming just from the general background radiation, they have trouble targeting things. There are some folks who hate the idea of fighters in Star Trek, and to them I say, I don't agree. Because fighters actually do make sense in a world where, you know, electronic warfare exists. And that's something that a lot of people seem to forget, is the fact that electronic warfare is totally a thing in Star Trek. And why would you forget about it? So we are getting ready to fire, und we will fire. Only 15 damage. From a range of 10. We'll let you get in close. Yeah, that's right, Patton. Go charge right on top of it. We're just going to sit here and shell it. Because this is the safest option. Like, we could get on top of it, and we'd take damage that we wouldn't want to. Or we could just sit here and do this. Not as much damage, not as quick, but a lot safer, and we've already taken damage in this battle. Not hitting with anything. So let's call the fighters back home, because they're not shooting. Which tells me they're out of ammunition. Not hyper accurate with those Hellbores, are we go? Keep pegging away with the phasers. He has fixed something which managed to repair a lot of the damage decals on the ship. Continuing to fire away. Long range fire with the fusion beams. Not really doing anything at all. But then again, we weren't expecting that to do anything at all. Fusion beams are not well known for shooting outside of a range of 3. Really 2. Okay, if you go beyond a range of 1, you're really kind of wasting them. Let's turn to port. We have another FRD to worry about. a field repair dock. We will line up and just start shelling the crap out of them. One hit. Woo! And how are our fighters doing? They are fully repaired, so send the fighters back out to harass. That way they will fire their hellbores from long range, which we saw did manage to bust through enemy defenses. So something we definitely want to encourage. Just continual fire. And he will not be... There we go. Managed to take out his shields. That is beautiful. That is... Oh, love it so much. And now we're going to return to me. I don't want you guys to get too close. I don't want you to take damage that I can't fix. I just want you to... Well, stay here. On board, where you can't be damaged. And I don't have to spend a lot of prestige to fix you. That's, honest to God, the main issue here is I can't afford to repair you and replace you. Not if I want to save up 10,000 for a ship with 20 of these things. And then the fighters alone will be able to just fly in and annihilate targets. The last Lyran fleet repair dock. We are still at maximum speed. We're letting the Patton get involved. Letting him feel like he's being useful. And to a certain extent he is. He did manage to take out that D7B. I mean, there is that going for him. And he has forced this thing to dump a whole bunch of mines on top of itself. When it blows up, that could be a problem. Let's contribute. We did 3 damage. We can't miss the hole in the shields. That's the wonderful thing about hellbores. You will always strike the hole. You will never have to face the maximum reinforcement. And it's a great feeling to be able to do that. To just shell that. Without a care in the world. Another little bit of damage. Although I am aware that we are now sort of enacting the role that the Hydrans normally enact on us whenever we were, flying with them in a mission to destroy a repair dock. Just slowly getting involved in the mission. Although I feel that we have a right to do this because, well, we had to suffer through it. And misery loves company. So now you get to experience what this was like, guys. Are you happy now? Slowly continue close. He doesn't have many weapon systems left, so no point in deploying the fighter squadrons, and that's the Starbase fleet repair dock destroyed. Victory will be ours. There will be no survival. We will fly to your place and annihilate your star docks. 450 prestige, excellent. Still haven't managed to take the tile. It's not neutral or nothing. So, let's hop right back. Patrol. We're going to avoid another shipyard assault. 1, we're kind of running low on time. And 2, well, we do not like going on shipyard assaults. All hands, man your battle stations. It looks like we decided to get involved with pirates. It's a trap! No way! Yahweh. So it looks like we have been trapped by a CRR-2 light cruiser and an HRR-3 heavy cruiser. We will, of course, focus on the light cruiser first and increase our speed to about 14. Let's prep a Wild Weasel, just in case. You never know. Prepare to launch the fighters to our defense. Excuse me. And prepare the forward shield for maximum reinforcement. Full power! All weapons select. Stand by. We need to go down to a speed of 13. And prep the overload. We're going to hit you like a ton of bricks. You're not even going to know what hit you. We do have to fly a little bit slower than I would want to for this, because normally we would want to get in close with this ship as soon as possible so that we can just gut him and then turn around and hit this guy. But because we're a giant dreadnought and we want to overload all our weapons when we hit him, we have to fly really slow, which kind of sucks. He is firing light disruptor fire at us. I don't think he got through our reinforcement. We don't have much reinforcement going on right now, but it's light disruptor fire from long range. It doesn't deal a whole heck of a lot of damage anyway. The best point for a disruptor to be at is at a down shield where you can just nick away at the target. Just plink it. No sense in trying to hit too hard. Our Hellbores will mostly be online. And he does have 2 missile launchers. That's not going to matter much. But he has 2 missile launchers. So something we should definitely keep in mind. Just in case we want to, care. So he does not have a point defense system, which means very shortly after we fire this... Oh, he's high energy turn! Boom! Hit him, nicely wiping out a lot of his shields. And another Hellbore, just to add insult to injury. Let's get the fighters out here. Go and attack. wipe him out before he has a chance to do anything, so we can focus pretty much all our efforts on HR3. So let's come around. He did fire a disruptor into our stern, but it's not going to be a particularly important target. There we go. Let's get the fighters back on board real quick. Return to the ship. That way you can get your hellbores reloaded, so that when we hit this guy, blast through him, we can have dealt a ton of damage. I don't think our fusion beams are going to be ready by the time we clash. I think they're going to be partly still loading. So let's slow down. We're going to see if we can turtle. And so he's got 4 missile launchers and a whole bunch of phasers. This is not that bad a threat. So he's slowed down as well. He wants to delay the impact of what's about to happen, I guess. I don't know why he would want to do that. He does know that we are a Hydran, not battleship, but dreadnought. So giving us time to restock all our weapons was probably a bit of a mistake, man. Here come the missiles. Let's let the point defense handle it. And open him up. Just, no. He did turn on this side to try and get to this shield. And he did get to it. Let's pull away. And that'll then bring our entirely full-powered port side over to him. I don't know why, man, but, well, he slowed down to let it happen, so it's his fault. Deploy the fighters. We're going to get them in on this attack. Take them out. They're excellent for this sort of bullying work. If the enemy wasn't smart enough to bring their own sort of anti-missile defense system or fighter defense system or fighters of their own, well, our fighters are just going to play. Both fighter squadrons are deployed. We're lined up for a nice little phaser run. Annihilated. And we'll pop this before the fighters can be taken by it. Excellent work. So, yet another ambush. I don't know why the pirates keep ambushing us. I can't quite figure out what their logic is. 550 prestige. Excellent. We're at 7,410. We still have not taken the tile. But that will wrap it up for an episode right here. We are 2,400, 2,500-ish away from being able to finally afford the gigantic battleship carrier that we really want to get in. And we are really starting to lay on the hurt. I did not quite realize that we were so deep inside Klingon territory. We are in another great position to probably chop them in half and leave the southern half to just kind of melt away. But as you can see, the Klingon Empire has not made much progress pushing out. We are just hammering them. But that will definitely do it for an episode for today. We have also been promoted to Rear Admiral. So everybody clap. We did a great job. I'm a Rear Admiral. You're a Rear Admiral. We're now all flag officers. Woo! Anyway, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.